Stroke survivors often ask why me, after their stroke. 9 reasons for this question. When stroke survivors ask why me, after their stroke, it's a deeply human reaction to a life-changing event. There are several emotional and psychological reasons for this question. One, shock and grief. A stroke is often sudden and the aftermath can be jarring. The loss of physical or cognitive abilities, the uncertainty about the future, and the need for rehabilitation can feel overwhelming. Asking why me is an expression of grief and disbelief about the drastic change in their life. It's a way of grappling with the idea that something so impactful has happened to them, often without warning. 2. Feeling of injustice. Stroke survivors might ask why me, because they feel something unfair has happened to them. They might compare themselves to others and wonder why they specifically have been affected. This sense of injustice is compounded by the fact that strokes often strike unpredictably and don't necessarily target people who lead unhealthy lifestyles. Anyone can experience a stroke regardless of age or health status. 3. Loss of control. A stroke can take away a sense of control over one's body and mind, or life in general. When people experience a loss of autonomy, whether it's difficulty moving, speaking, or thinking, they may feel helpless and vulnerable. Why me reflects an attempt to make sense of a situation that feels out of their control. 4. Existential questions. A stroke can trigger deep existential questions about life, fate, and purpose. Survivors might reflect on their life choices, their identity, and the meaning of their survival. Why me can be a way of processing sense of randomness or searching for deeper meaning in their condition. 5. Fear and uncertainty. After a stroke, many survivors face an uncertain future. The fear of permanent disability, ongoing health challenges, or the possibility of another stroke can create anxiety. The question why me is often tied to the fear of what's to come, as survivors are uncertain of how their lives will unfold. 6. Struggle with acceptance. Coming to terms with a stroke's aftermath can take time. Many stroke survivors experience feelings of frustration or sadness as they adjust to their new reality. Why me can be part of the struggle to accept this new normal, especially if they had been active, independent, or had a different sense of self before the stroke. 7. Coping with self-blame. In some cases, stroke survivors might feel guilt or self-blame for the stroke occurring, even though many strokes are not directly preventable. They may wonder if there was something they could have done to avoid it. Whether they were too stressed, didn't manage health risks well, or made lifestyle choices that contributed to the event. This self-blame can lead to the question "why me?" as they try to find a reason or explanation. 8. Need for social support. Asking "why me?" can also be a way of expressing a need for empathy or support. Survivors may seek validation for their feelings, hoping that others will acknowledge the difficulty of their experience and offer comfort. It's a way of reaching out to others for understanding and connection. 9. Spiritual or religious reflection. For some survivors, the question "why me?" may have a spiritual dimension. They may wonder if their stroke is a punishment, a test, or a part of a larger divine plan. Others might grapple with the question in search of comfort or a sense of spiritual purpose in the face of their suffering. Being a stroke survivor since September 2013, I can feel the question, "Why me?" after a stroke is a complex emotional response to a life-altering event. It reflects a mixture of shock, confusion, fear, and the search for meaning. It's part of the journey that stroke survivors go through as they process their experience and attempt to make sense of the profound changes in their lives. Many survivors eventually find ways to cope, either through acceptance, adaptation, or seeking meaning in their experience, but the question "why me?" is often a natural part of that process. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel SDK Online Stroke Awareness. Thank you for watching.